You ask me, that Irish bastard had it coming.
And some would agree with you on that one. Yeah, we'll see. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Geeking Poetic News. We're so happy to be back giving you the news here. It's been a little while. I am one of your hosts, Larry Roberts. To my right,
Megan Guess.
Vito Marchese.
And this is more of that super scrum-diddly-umptious news that you just crave so badly.
Craven, huh?
So, as we said, it's been a little while since we've been with you. There's been a lot going on. Oof, boy, we have been busy. There's just been so much going on as the year's getting closer to an end. There's even more coming up for you, but we had a lot of really cool news come up that we were all pretty interested and excited about. So we wanted to get another news segment out for you. Real quick, as we always do, we have to say hello and thank you to our subscribers and our Patreons and everybody that supports us. Thank you so much.
You guys
are awesome.
Hey, Jinx.
Frickin' frack over here. So, you know what? Without any further ado, there's a lot to talk about. So let's get into it because I want to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is not only toys, but toy stores. Because there are rumblings about that the most famous, arguably, I guess the most famous toy store of all time might be making a big-time comeback.
Ooh.
So it appears that those of us who didn't want to grow up and wanted to be a Toys R Us kid for life might actually have a chance to hang on to those aspirations just a little bit longer. Recently, it was reported that the controlling lenders of Toys R Us have decided to pull out of bankruptcy auction proceedings, feeling that the brand is just too valuable to give up, and instead are supposedly planning on reviving the business behind both Toys R Us and Babies R Us. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, Babies R Us. As most of you are aware of, Toys R Us had been in serious financial trouble for a while before ultimately closing down and selling off all of its 735 stores in the US, as well as shutting down its online website and sales. Meanwhile, though, it also created a major hole in the toy industry to the tune of around $11 billion. Because contrary to what many people had speculated regarding Toys R Us's initial closing down, such as theories that kids weren't interested in buying toys that much anymore, or that the market had been oversaturated with certain brands, or too much competition from online sales like Amazon and so forth, seemingly the main reason for the company's demise can be traced to a buyout that occurred in the mid-90s that caused a heap of debt to be placed upon the business that was practically impossible to ever get out from under, which caused the chain to gradually, over the years, sink into what eventually wound up being bankruptcy and closure by 2017. Realizing this, and after talking with all parties involved, Toys R Us's controlling lenders have instead decided to hang on to the Toys R Us and Babies R Us names, open new domestic retail outlets, and hang on to all the product licenses that they've already had. There's not yet, as of this broadcast, been any word on how soon we can expect new stores to arrive or what kinds of changes will be made from the old model to perhaps ensure better business and sales down the line. But it seems like perhaps instead of a full-on cancellation, we might actually get a reboot of sorts for the Toys R Us chain. It's worth noting that recently, the owner of the KB license has announced that he is going to open up KB pop-up stores in over 1,000 locations for this holiday season in hopes of filling the gap that was left by Toys R Us disappearing. Not to mention, Amazon is going to be coming out with a catalog specifically based around toys that they will be releasing for this holiday as well. Some industry folks are skeptical and cautious towards the potential reopening of Toys R Us, stating that many of the toy manufacturers, such as Hasbro or Mattel, took a massive hit from the chain closing in the first place, and of course have now moved on to having new distribution deals with other chains and have perhaps largely moved on. But that being said, many feel that the name recognition and the nostalgia connected to the Toys R Us name will help them rebound and be resurrected successfully, where other defunct brands have had a tough time coming back, but only time will tell. So there you have it. I mean, I'm obviously, as you know, pretty excited about the idea of Toys R Us coming back because I didn't want it to go in the first place. And as the report shows, I mean, all the speculation, everybody likes to speculate and say that, well, it's because kids don't care about toys anymore, or blah, 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 the internet, this and that. And clearly it was just bad business. I mean, I think that if they restructure and they go about this right, it can come back. Because when you have something as iconic as that, because like I was thinking of earlier, think about like Hostess. You guys remember what happened with Hostess?
Twinkies and everything.
Yeah, it was like nobody gave a shit about Hostess. Everybody seemed to think we took it for granted. It was just this old company. And then they announced it was leaving. And then all of a sudden everybody was freaking out about, what do you mean? You know, I grew up with those. I love those. Took it away. Same thing.
Everybody wants it.
Mm-hmm. And now it's, from what I can tell, it seems like Hostess is doing gangbusters again. I think Toys R Us could be that.
And you can walk into a physical store and look at your toy instead of a picture on Amazon, you know, to buy it. That's kind of what I miss about going to old Blockbusters and Hollywood Videos, man.
To find your movie, yeah.
Instead of scrolling through a fucking page,
touch stuff.
Yeah, you're there and looking at it in your hands. I mean, you can't beat that.
And I think that whole thing is going to make a comeback here. If it isn't already coming back, I think it's going to make a comeback. I mean, we've seen it in music formats with people wanting records, you know, vinyl again, even cassettes coming back now. I think you're going to even. I think you're even going to see that to some degree with video and stuff. There just seems to be a lot of nostalgia connected to.
Are we going to start getting beta and VHSs again?
Oh man, I'd be so excited. I would be
We
so.
need 8 tracks.
Beta over here.
He's Mr. VHS,
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Beta. So I still have, 2 Betamax machines that work. And I have the tapes, yeah. So anyway, I do think, you know, I know there's some haters and stuff, but I think Toys R Us coming back, I think if it's done right, I think it can succeed. I think it's going to be a good thing. And you know what? I think maybe some of these lazy parents that sat there and said, I'm not going to bother. I don't want to drive out to take my kid to Toys R Us. Now maybe they'll go, okay. Maybe.
Yeah, it was something special. I should do this.
Exactly. You know,
Carry it on to my child.
we'll see.
Time will tell.
Yeah. So then on that note, speaking of comebacks of a sort,
Yeah.
somebody we had talked about just not too long ago in the news is purportedly making a comeback, but
Not quite what you expected.
no.
So, in an interesting twist, it appears that writer-director James Gunn has found himself working again on yet another comic book movie, but perhaps not the company you expected or hoped for. Warner Brothers just confirmed that Gunn is in talks to write and possibly direct the next installment in the Suicide Squad series for DC Comics. As you might have heard on one of our past news segments, Gunn was fired from the sequel for Guardians of the Galaxy by Marvel due to the uproar involving some of his past tweets he'd made years ago that were considered to be too controversial. Now it appears he's embracing controversy yet again, of a different sort, by going and working with Marvel Studios' rivals and becoming part of the DC entertainment machine. Some fans are already bristling with curiosity and excitement given the fact that Gunn showed his skills writing for a superhero ensemble with the Guardians films, and hopes that he can breathe new life into the Suicide Squad series, which many fans were initially excited about when the first film was announced but received very mixed reviews after it was released. There are already reports that Gunn plans to take the series in a new and different direction. The new Suicide Squad movie is being produced by Peter Safran, and as of this broadcast does not yet have a release date. Hopefully, more to come soon. So that's that. Gunn's making his comeback. Back with a vengeance, crossing enemy lines and everything. The guy's apparently not afraid of controversy.
That's what he's going to do.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool. I mean, I know that's kind of controversial going over to DC, you know, especially because fans are so divided. It's not what a lot of people wanted to hear. You know, I wanted him to continue on with Marvel. I loved what he did with Marvel, but
maybe he can do it with DC now. Maybe we can get a great movie from DC.
Could it happen? Look at him laughing. He's like, yeah, keep dreaming.
Could happen.
This ain't 1989 or 1992 anymore, you know what I'm saying?
Did we get great DC movies?
Fucking Batman.
Oh, okay.
And Batman Returns.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Dude, I love that movie when I was a kid. Rewatched it a few years ago. It's not as great as I remembered it.
That's a shame.
Well.
That's coming from sequel, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superman 3, on the other hand, though,
Oh,
that's a winner.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm just happy for James Gunn because
I'm glad he landed on his feet.
Yeah, I think he messed up, but I think he got a little bit of a raw deal.
Yeah.
With the way it all went down. So I'm glad he's back in it. And I wanted to like Suicide Squad. Like, I really was like, eager for it. And I didn't dislike it as much as some people seem to have really disliked it. I thought it was okay, but it had a lot of problems. Mm-hmm. So the potential is there. Somebody like him that knows how to do this, man, who knows? It could be good. I'm real curious what the whole new direction thing you're talking about, is going to be all about. So
guess we'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit of wait. Lord knows we got a lot of other comic book movies coming out in the meantime. But so then lastly, but certainly not least for...
Save the best for last.
Yeah. There's some potential anniversary news going on. Not a wedding anniversary, nothing of that sort, but a 40th anniversary of one of Vito's all-time favorite franchises.
Good old Alien.
Got some cool stuff possibly coming up. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Vito?
Let's go. There are new rumors floating around that 20th Century Fox is indeed moving ahead with a proposed television series based on the legendary Alien franchise. While no official statements have been released by the studio to the public at large, a YouTube channel known as Mr. H Reviews has claimed that an inside source has leaked this information and is reliable. Reportedly, the show has been greenlit to begin moving forward now that an unnamed streaming service has signed on to carry it. While this is very exciting for serious Alien fans like myself, unfortunately, there's little else info to go on yet. The first Alien film was released in 1979, so it's good timing to have this new one released as a 40th anniversary for the Alien franchise. Not to mention that recently, Fox reached out to its fans, inviting them to take part in a contest where they'd submit their own Alien Universe short films. 6 of these fan films are to be selected by the studio as winners in early 2019. Whether this is something that will operate in conjunction with the proposed television series is unknown, but all signs seem to point to Fox planning on marking Alien's 40th anniversary in a big way. Whether or not the acquisition of 20th Century Fox by Disney will impact any of these plans, better or for worse, is yet to be determined. Really hoping this Disney thing doesn't fuck up the Alien franchise, even though some people disagree that the Alien franchise has been fucked up since Aliens, but I don't know.
Yeah, but they haven't been Disney fucked up.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see how that works out.
But that submission short film thing, I mean, we have to get on that shit.
Yeah.
Has this written all over it?
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I heard about that, I was just like, oh man, Vito
wants to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going to be in on this. Yeah, we'll have to see. Will you be seeing a possible submission from Geeking Poetic to the Alien, what was it, the Alien Universe short story contest or whatever the hell it's called? Yeah, I mean... Maybe.
If Vito has his way, yes, you will.
Maybe a couple.
Oh, boy.
Hey, worst case scenario, if they don't want it or whatever, we could just put it out on our channel. It'll be something fun.
Yeah.
No.
Vito love it anyway. It doesn't matter. He just wants to do it.
Yeah, no worse than the other crazy shit that we do and with our teasers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But man, on that note, I think that is enough news that all y'all can handle for now. And hopefully we'll be back soon with more news. Usually this time of year, a lot of stuff, especially gets closer to holidays and New Year's. There's a lot of new things coming out, and we'll be here to talk about it. As always, if there's anything you want us to talk about or you feel like we should have said or should not have said or whatever, please comment, let us know. Let us know. You can reach us in the comments on YouTube. You can comment on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, smoke signals, paper airplane notes that fly through the air.
Morse code.
Pigeon.
We just got a Morse code decoder, so.
We totally did.
There you go.
So if you want to send us over that Morse code, go right ahead.
Exactly. We'll figure all that shit out. Just keep in touch with us. Let us know what you think. As always, subscribe. As always, please share this. If you like what we're doing, share it. Share it. How many more fucking times I gotta tell you? Huh? Come on.
Do it already.
Just do it already. Man. Anyway, on a serious note, thank you so much for watching. I'm Larry.
I'm Megan.
I'm Vito.
We are Geeking Poetic, and that is fucking news.